Well, that's a first. I'm out looking for some blackthorn. Just a nice little easy couple of hours out, you know. And I was just making my way into the woods, and there was 3 people, and they said, "Excuse me, are you that bloke I've seen on YouTube?" First time that's ever happened. I'm not really surprised that it's happened here, because I've made lots of videos here. I won't say exactly where I am, because I'm cutting wood, and I don't technically have the landowner's permission. It's just the kind of place where nobody gives a toss. It's all hawthorn so far, but I know there is plenty of blackthorn here. I seem to remember there is definitely one particular patch just a bit further ahead on the left somewhere. I'm pleased to see some evidence of recent rabbit activity there, because this last year I've seen hardly any rabbits. Normally see them everywhere, all the time, absolutely thousands of them. And around Studham you get black rabbits in particular. You see these black rabbits running around the common. But last year I saw hardly any, and then I became aware that there are a couple of diseases going around at the moment, not myxomatosis, something else that we didn't make on purpose to kill them. There's been a couple of nasty diseases going around, and the numbers are right down. But it's only February, and that was quite a good pile of poo, so they seem to be doing okay here for now. I'm glad to get out just for a very brief walk today, and I'm glad I haven't had to bother doing any research to actually show you anything interesting. I literally just wanted to come out and have some nice breezy outdoor time and do something useful by stocking up on sticks, because that last one I made my brother, that bit of blackthorn I used for that, I hadn't even intended using to make a stick out of, because it had that dog leg in it. But that actually turned out quite well for the design of the stick overall anyway. But of course it means I've not actually got any usable blackthorn left. And anything that I find today, it's going to be a year at least before I can do anything with it. I've got a ton of hazel at home, and that's probably ready to go by now, to be honest. But you know, blackthorn's a bit special, isn't it? We'll see what we can find today. So I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone, just having this little short quiet walk. Now, not only my channel, but my life is a politics-free zone, quite intentionally. It's horrible, you know. You just live in a constant state of panic if you take any notice whatsoever of what's going on in the world around you. However, this week, for some reason, I don't watch news, I don't read newspapers, I don't do any of that. I don't even watch TV. But just listening to the radio, driving around for work, all the stuff that you hear, and it's terrible. It's all very worrying from a number of angles. So, if you want to see something that is almost guaranteed to make you laugh your socks off, just hang around to the end of the video. It's only going to be a short one. I'm cutting wood, for God's sake. And I'm going to show one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. A little clip I've nicked. Well, there's our first suitable candidate. Lovely straight long piece of blackthorn. And it's got some rub damage down here where it's been rubbing against something as it's grown. Now that could go 2 ways. That could either get incorporated into the stick and look absolutely gorgeous, or not. But it's long enough that if not, I can cut it off here, and I've still got a lovely long straight bit of blackthorn to put a handle on, antler or whatever. But ideally, that'll look good, because look, we've got a really nice bit of root here as well. So this is potentially a lovely stick with a traditional root handle shillelagh style. I've I've been digging around it. I don't use a trowel anymore. They're a bit cumbersome when you're going around the roots. I use an old chisel. And I've got my loppers there, little pair of secateurs for taking the small bits off, and a folding saw. That's all you need. Right, now I'm just going to snip that off, and we'll see. I'll pull it out and we'll see what we've got. Excellent. That's a good start, that. As you can see, I leave much more wood on than I need for the actual handle of the shillelagh. Intention is this will end up as a one-piece stick. I'll leave on much more than I need, so that as it splits when it dries, I can cut all that messy bit off. Now, fingers crossed, as it dries, that's gonna not rot. And when I come to make a stick with that running down one side of it, that's potentially going to be absolutely gorgeous. Failing that, it doesn't matter. If that starts to rot or whatever and I can't actually use it in the finished stick, I can cut it off just below here, and I've still got plenty of nice straight blackthorn there, just to make a standard handled stick out of. Right, let's find another one. Got a lovely one here, look. Perfect diameter. It's dead straight, and I'm just going to have a little fertile and see if it's got anything in the way of a root on it that might be useful. Yeah, look at that. Quite a nice substantial bit of root. Right, cut that off and strip it down a bit. That'll be a good one. There you go, that's preparedness for you. I haven't got a rag, I haven't got a tissue, I haven't got a plaster. I'm just going to have to put my glove back on. That'll do the job. Anyway, it's all worth it. Too good to go. You can't beat this. It's the very best antidote to modern society. Get yourself out and about and get a bit of a sweat on if you really must. And don't forget to take a can of beer and look for somewhere nice to sit down for 10 minutes. I do seem to have wandered out of the blackthorny bit pretty much. This is all hawthorn at the moment. Well, anyway, I've got myself two really good handled shillelagh bits, and I'm going to sit down now. But on the way out, I don't fancy doing any more digging, you see. If I wanted to spend the day digging, I'd be up on the allotment. On the way out, that could be good. I'm going to keep an eye out just for some nice straight pieces that I can make my own handles for. And that doesn't necessarily have to be blackthorn. Right, this looks like a suitable little spot. Yep, nice soft little mossy spot to have a sit down. You know, I said that nobody gives a toss what you do here. Well, just the other side of those trees there, I can hear somebody letting off firearms. Sounds more like a shotgun to me than anything else. This isn't a shooting wood. I'm not going to make much effort to find any more wood today. If I see any nice straight bits I can cut on the way out without having to dig, I'll grab them. But I think that'll do me for today. I need to get a shift on though, because I always end up cutting my bits of blackthorn at completely the wrong time of year. It's all fine, it always works out fine, it's not a problem, but I know you're supposed to do it in the winter. And although it's only, what is it, the 3rd or 4th of February today, it's not like February, it feels like April. I've been keeping an eye out on the trees, looking to see if anything's coming into bud or anything yet, which thankfully it isn't, so the sap isn't rising in the blackthorn just yet. I've still got a bit of a window of opportunity to cut it in its ideal dormant state. All I've really seen that is unusual for the time of year is snowdrops, and they're not really that unusual for February anyway. Yeah, it's really nice just to have a little walk where I don't have to do any research, don't have to use my brain, don't have to remember interesting things to say. You know, just switch my brain off after a taxing week of just media bombardment. It doesn't matter how hard you try and ignore it and avoid it, you still hear it anyway, and you don't want to. I don't want to anyway. So the most I'll have to do today, the most taxing thing I'll have to do, is spot a bit of straight wood and chop it down. If only every day could be just like that. Quite a nice view out there as well, but I can't turn the camera around and show you because you'll guess where I am. Cutting wood without permission. Hawthorn galore. I've never heard of people using hawthorn as a stickwood. It's twisty as hell, but also it feels really springy and spongy. I'm not sure it's actually all that hard, you know. I just came across a nice little patch there. Some very young shoots of blackthorn there. I didn't bother getting the roots out. They're just nice, good diameter, straight pieces, which I've cut off. Nice easy little bit of collection, those ones. Well, that certainly did the trick. Blow out the cobwebs, reset yourself on a Saturday morning. Now, I'm sorry if that was boring, but I was cutting wood. I don't know how exciting you expect that to be. I'm going to hand you over now to something which, despite me having watched 1 million times, makes me wet my trousers every time. This is Donald and David Stotts interviewing a very game Miss Sinead O'Connor.
Sinead, have you seen Titanic? It's out now. I've never seen it. It's quite long, isn't it? Stop it, it's quite sad at the end. My mum cried when she saw it.